Hey there, fellow travelers. Mark here with Wolters World, and we're in the cool city of Toronto, Canada. You can see the CN Tower back there. We're at the St. Lawrence Market. Really cool place to check out. Rated #1 market to go to by National Geographic, and they're awesome. But anyway, what we have for you today are the 5 things you're gonna love and hate about coming to Toronto. And the first thing you're not gonna like is driving around Toronto and parking in Toronto. Anything to do with cars, because Toronto is huge. I mean, huge, huge, huge. It's the biggest city in Canada, one of the biggest cities in North America, and I mean, it can get a bit hair-raising frustrating with, you're coming in from maybe Ottawa, or you're coming in from the other way, Detroit or whatever, and you start getting the urban sprawl and the traffic that goes along with it, and so you have that. And then when you drive downtown, finding parking, dude, I used to have full head of hair, ripped it out trying to find parking. And if you do find parking, it is expensive down here. So just know that the first thing you're not gonna like about Toronto is driving and parking in the city. The locals will agree with me on this one. It can be a bit hair-raising. So if you got a hotel, leave the car there. They have a good metro system here that'll take you to most of the sites you want to see. So I would just use that. We've been using the yellow line, no problem. Going to the ROM, the Royal Ontario Museum, all these kind of stuff, okay? So just know, driving, hair pulling out, okay? The second thing you might not like about Toronto, which is one of those things you get in any big city, is it is expensive. Food, lodging, parking, all these things do add up. And what's cool though about Toronto is, since it's such a big city, there's lots of options out there in terms of food and shopping. So you don't have to stay in the most expensive hotels. You don't have to eat expensive food all the time, but it still is an expensive kind of place. So take advantage of going to Chinatown, Little Italy, going to the like St. Lawrence Market here, and getting, which is right behind us actually, and getting deals on food, also deals on souvenirs and stuff like that, to cut down some of the costs. Because the hotels, well, they're gonna get you there and things like that, but just know it's the second thing you're not gonna like, is it can be expensive here in Toronto. So what's the third thing you're not gonna like about Toronto? Well, let's see another part of Toronto to give you some more ideas. So we've moved in front of the new City Hall here in Toronto to give you the third thing you're not going to like about when you come to Toronto, and that's the constant construction. There is always construction going on here, whether it's buildings getting redone, roads being finished, new lines being put up, tons of construction here in downtown or through the urban sprawl going out, and it will affect your time here with your driving, with your parking, with your transit if you're coming here for work. The TTC always has delays and stuff like that. So just know that the constant construction can put a little bit of a slowdown on some of your things, but they're making the city better, and it is a cool city, even if sometimes the new construction is a bit interesting. The fourth thing you might not like about coming to Toronto is that it's bigger than you expect. You're thinking Canada, oh, it's a big country, but it's not a lot of people, so the cities can't be that big. And you look on your map of Toronto and think, oh, I can walk everywhere. It's so simple. Toronto is huge, and the walks take a lot longer than you think, but what's cool about that is they have a really good public transport system here. Taking the streetcars or taking the subway can get you all over the place, all to the major sites, no problem. So though it is bigger than you expect, you can use the public transport to get around that. But just realize, if you think you're going to walk, oh, I'm going to go walk from the harbor front to the ROM, oh, it looks like it's a 20-minute walk, it's a bit farther than that. Hop on the yellow line, hop on the subway, and head up there, okay? So that's the fourth thing you're not gonna like, is the city is really large and can lead to some problems there. The fifth thing you might not like about Toronto is this is the largest city in Canada and one of the largest cities in North America. It is huge, like I said with the maps, but also with that, you have tons of people here. This is the financial heart and industrial heart of Canada. So there's tons of people living here, working here, all kinds of stuff. And then with their fantastic museums and the lake and everything, you have tons of tourists. So in the summertime when you come, you really do get packed with the tourists. You have to wait in line for the ferries, wait in line to get in the museums, and things fill up rather quickly. So make sure, if you're coming in the summer, book your hotels early. If you want to go on any tours, book those things beforehand so you don't get left out, okay? So those are 5 things you might not like about Toronto. None of them are too horrible. I mean, we've really enjoyed our time here. So let's get into things you're going to love. Now, the first thing you're going to love about coming to Toronto is the culture and entertainment. This is a huge city with great nightlife, great bars, great eating, and great museums. The Royal Ontario Museum, if you like art or you like dinosaurs, they've got something for everybody. Over there we've got the Art Gallery of Ontario, awesome art collection there. They have a shoe museum, the Bata Shoe Museum, and of course you got to go see the Stanley Cup at the Hall of Fame, Hockey Hall of Fame. So there's all kinds of cultural things to do here, as well as entertainment. So you can always be entertained and doing things when you're here. And that's one thing I love about this place, is there's just so much to do and enjoy with culture and entertainment. The second thing you're really going to like about coming here is, yes, it's a big city, but they do have some green space. They do have some outdoor, activities. Take the ferry over to the Toronto Islands, specifically Center Island. It's car free, so you can rent a bike and go around and enjoy it there, get away from it all. If you want to go farther out of town, yes, they do have an amusement park here. You can go to the Wonderland Amusement Park. Heck, if you really feel adventuresome, hour and a half, 2-hour drives, you're at Niagara Falls. So there's all kinds of stuff. Oh yeah, and there's Lake Ontario right there. So you have all this outdoor stuff you can do, and you can really enjoy the outdoors in Toronto, even though it's a big city. Outdoor cafes, outdoor markets, all kinds of great stuff. And that leads us into the third thing you're going to like, is wandering the districts. Now, Toronto has very distinct districts. Now, some people will say about the multiculturalism of the city, there is the Chinatown and the Little Italy, but I say it's all the district. Whether you're in the financial district, going to the St. Lawrence Market and shopping around there, or you're going to Kensington Market, or you're here, at the City Hall, or walking around the financial district, or going to the ROM and seeing the university. There's very distinct districts throughout the city, and you can really enjoy them and get a different feel every place you go. And there's even a district underground. You can go to the Path, this underground shopping entertainment thing. It's like, it's just huge things. So you don't have to kind of get stuck in the winter. You can shop and live underground during a slightly cold January or February day. And of course then you go to the harbor front there to enjoy things, and head over to the islands, like I said, for more district stuff. So it is really cool. And the next thing you're really going to like is when you go to those districts, you have really great independent shops and pubs and restaurants here in Toronto. It has a very independent feel. Though it's a huge, huge financial city, they have the independentness. They have the shops that you go to, and I make the clothes and I sell the clothes. They have the pub, yes, this is from our farm, and you get to have these things and enjoy it. And what's cool is shopping in Toronto is awesome. For independents, or if you want to have the big box store stuff, they have the chains as well. But the independents and the service you get in them are so fantastic. And I recommend going to some of the markets. Now the St. Lawrence Market is cool, and that's like food and stuff like that there. But around there's all kinds of independent stores. Or you go to Kensington Market, you go there for the kind of hippie vibe that's there and stuff like that. And it's a really cool place to go. And the shopping really is fantastic here. And the fifth thing you're going to love about Toronto is it is a very cool city in terms of its vibe and architecture and just feeling. You walk around here, there's a lot of cool people here. There's a lot of cool architecture. And yes, there's crazy architecture like the Town Hall. There's cool things like the CN Tower like we had before. You've got old-fashioned history. You've got new construction. And it just brings this really awesome vibe to the city with sports and entertainment and art. And it is fantastic. And that's why Toronto is one of our favorite cities in North America. We liked it so much, we actually ended up staying extra days here because it was so much fun. Anyway, we hope you enjoy Toronto, and if you have your own loves and hates, please put it in the comments section below. We really appreciate more help. So, have a great time in Toronto, and if you want more, check us out on woltersworld.com. Bye from Toronto, in front of the beautiful City Hall.